Coolest? Hold on! What's happening at Barcelona right now is beyond belief. Flick is already on the edge, Casado might be sold, Camp Nou is still not ready for the Champions League. But there is good news too. Kounde until 2030, Lewandowski's record and Frenkie's future. Friends, what's happening at Barcelona right now is a real thriller. Just last week, Hansi Flick was diplomatically hinting that he understood the club's financial situation. But now he's openly dissatisfied, and you can understand him. Imagine, the coach asks to speed up the registration process so that by the weekend he has all the players available. And they tell him, wait until the last week of the transfer window. Problem number 1, Gerard Martin. Flick wants a left-footed defender after Inigo Martinez left. Logical? Yes. But to register Gerard Martin, they first need to terminate Oriol Romeo's contract. And there is still no deal. Tomorrow, there is another meeting, and even if Romeo leaves, it's not guaranteed to solve the problem unless the conditions are favorable for the club. Problem number 2, goalkeeper chaos. Against Mallorca, Flick had to call up Iñaki Peña, who didn't even play in preseason and was already discarded back in the winter. This situation is absurd. To register Szczęsny, they first need to sell Iñaki. There are offers, but the club needs to sell someone first themselves. So, again, we wait until the last days of the market. Problem number 3, Marc Bernal drama. Another story, the young holding midfielder. After a serious knee injury, he earned his chance, but the promise to give him a first-team number still hasn't been fulfilled. Flick loves the kid and sees him as the holding midfielder of the future, but the club doesn't even have money to register its own academy graduates. What's next? Deco has already done everything possible to register Joan Garcia and Rashford, but until surplus players leave, there will be no new registration. On the table, selling Marc Casado, renewing De Jong's contract, and the fate of Iñaki Peña. Selling Casado might solve everything because it would give the club the one-to-one rule for the whole season. Otherwise, in January we'll face a new headache, registering Ter Stegen and removing Joan Garcia. We have a new main character of the last days of the transfer market, Marc Casado. The most interesting thing, the player himself doesn't want to leave, but the market and the club already feel that his sale could solve the financial fair play problem. Casado isn't just an academy kid. Last season, he played fearlessly in one of Barca's best midfields in recent years, and now serious clubs are hunting him. Olympique Marseille is at the center of the storm. Rabiot caused a scandal in the dressing room and is now being sold. And French media are already writing the first candidate to replace him is Casado. There is also Betis, Atletico, and even Premier League clubs, West Ham and Wolverhampton. But the main problem, Barça won't listen to offers below 30 million euros. Why is the transfer in doubt? The boy's dream is to play for Barça. He's been waiting for these moments his whole life, but Frenkie de Jong's return last season reduced his role in the team, and that's an argument for his sale. And clubs want to seize that moment and buy the young talent while he's still available. Other Marseille options, Ismail Benacer from Milan for 15 million euros. Hikam Badawi from Nice for 15 million, Douglas Luiz from Juventus for 30 million, and Mateo Kovacic from Man City for 20 million. But Casado is the main target. Friends, everything will be decided in a few days. If Casado is sold, it'll take off Barca's financial shackles, but the last word is up to the player himself. And now write in the comments, would you sell Casado for financial relief or keep him as a symbol of Barca's future? Looks like it's finally happening. Frenkie de Jong and Barça have moved forward in the contract extension saga. It all started when Frenkie broke his ties with longtime agent Ali Dursun. But now he has new representatives, and yesterday they were already at Ciudad Deportiva meeting with Deco. And friends, this isn't just talk. Laporta said weeks ago that it was only a matter of time, and it seems like it's true. Did Frenkie change his mind? Do you remember when Frenkie was really thinking about leaving? Injuries, instability, the team struggling. But last season changed everything. Trophies returned to Barça, the squad got stronger with even more victories ahead. Frenkie regained his form and became the midfield engine again. Now he publicly says, I want to stay. What about the contract? There's one nuance: salary. Barca won't increase it because Frenkie is already among the highest paid footballers. But the club wants to close the deal before the window ends to free up financial fair play space and finally register Gerard Martin, Szczęsny, and Bargi. Camp Nou is under UEFA's watch, a race against time for Barca. Friends, the situation is crazy actually. UEFA personally came to Camp Nou this morning to see if there is any chance of hosting Champions League matches there this season. Barca is dragging it out until the last moment to play at Camp Nou, but time is short. By August 28th, the club needs City Hall's permission to open the stadium. What the problem here? There is still no final certificate from Limac, the construction company. Champions League won't wait. The first group stage match is in September 16th-18th. All 4 games must be at the same stadium. You can't switch venues mid-season. La Liga is easier. The Valencia match is on September 13th-14th, and it can be moved to Johan Cruyff Stadium or Montjuic. But even there is a problem. A Post Malone concert days before the game. UEFA wants at least a partial opening for 30,000 seats with gradual expansion during the season. But there is one more requirement. VIP, media and press zones must be under a roof. And the roof is scheduled for 2027. Why is this so important? Money. Camp Nou brings in far more revenue than Montjuic. Socios have been waiting 2 years to return home, and Champions League nights at Camp Nou are a different level of emotions. Do you think Barca will open Camp Nou in time, or will they endure Montjuic for another season? Write in the comments. Friends, we've got a great news. Jules Kounde has signed his new contract with Barca until 2030. Jules, who joined from Sevilla in July 2022 for 50 plus 10 million euros, entered Laporta's office today, and it was done. Rafa Yusta and Deco were present, and after signing, Kounde said what we all wanted to hear. I'm very happy to extend my contract. It was simple. I feel comfortable here, and it was easy for both me and the club. On ambitions, Jules replied like a true Kool-Aid. The sky is the limit. We want to win even more than last season, and I dream of surpassing Abidal for the most matches played among Frenchmen at Barca. Friends, that is insane. Robert Lewandowski turns 37 and keeps rewriting Barca history. Do you know how many games it took him to score 100 plus goals? Just 147. He is the 5th fastest in Barca history. Faster only legends Mariano Martin, Kubala, Luis Suarez, and Evaristo. Lewandowski's records: 2022-23, 33 goals in 46 matches, first Pichichi Trophy. 2023-24, 26 goals in 49 games. 2024-25, exploded with 42 goals in 52 matches, 27 in La Liga, battling Mbappe until the final round. He scored his 100th and 101st in the final round against Athletic at San Mamés. But the current season started tough. Robert is recovering from a thigh injury, but you know Lewandowski, he'll be back and firing. Do you think he can reach 150 goals this season? Write in the comments and let's congratulate the legend. Friends, if you haven't seen it yet, on our new channel, Yamin Lamal, there is a wild video about a stadium where even fearless Lamine Yamal wouldn't dare to play. The atmosphere will give you chills. Check it out, link under the video. And that's it for today. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want more Barca emotions, hit like, subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss the next episodes. Bye bye.